Hey, it's your butch best friend, here to talk to you a little bit more about cigars. One of the questions I often get, just a quick primer here. One of the questions I often get is, do you inhale? No, never inhale a cigar. Smoking a cigar is about the flavor, it's about the feeling of the smoke, it's about relaxation. It's not about trying to get a big nicotine hit, and inhaling cigars is going to make you choke and cough like you would not believe. It's just not a good thing. It's not what they're meant for, so please don't do it. That said, let's talk about a few beginner cigars. Now, I pulled these out of my collection. I'm not, I'm a little more than a beginner, so I don't have a ton of beginner cigars in here, but there's a few I wanted to talk about and a few I wanted to show you. First of all, one of the ones I want to talk about that I don't have a sample of is the Macanudo. Macanudo Gold or Macanudo Hyde Park or Macanudo, just about any Macanudo is going to make you real happy as a beginner. It's a great introduction to non-infused cigars. It's absolutely completely accessible. Most cigar shops have them. They're not hard to find. Romeo y Julieta is the same way, and I actually have one of those. I'll show you. It's kind of a big cigar for the one I have, but they have all sorts of sizes. This is the Romeo y Julieta 1875. What am I saying? And nice, mild, not going to knock your teeth in, but it's going to give you a lot of good flavor and a lot to enjoy. So definitely do that. Okay, one of the other brands that I'd like to talk about as a good beginner cigar, believe it or not, is not one that's super well known. It's CAO. CAO, this is their Nicaraguan line. They have many different kinds of lines, including the Brazil and Italian, Cameroon, which is excellent, and all sorts of other cigars. And I found that the CAO line is very easy entry point into cigars. They do have some mild or medium bodied to full bodied cigars out there, so you want to ask your local cigar shop about them a little bit if you can hopefully glean some information there and they're not just selling them because they're popular. But all that said, it's a great cigar, great to begin with. It's a good maker for you to keep your eye out for. One of the other ones that I was going to talk about, so pretty much when you're talking about beginner cigars, you're going to look for damn near anything that says Connecticut or Connecticut shade. The reason is the Connecticut leaf is grown in Connecticut, but it's the shade part means that it's under this shade material that they have over the tobacco, so it grows, it gets the sunlight, but it's not going to get that deep sun that some of the Nicaraguan and Honduran and Dominican Republic and Cuban cigars get. So it's going to be a milder flavor, and it's going to be still very nice flavor, but it's just not going to blow you out the water, especially as a beginner. One of the Connecticut shades that I personally prefer, and it's because it's more on the medium-bodied side. It's not as mild as some of the other ones, like a Macanudo. It's not as mild as that, even though it's a Connecticut shade, but it is the Undercrown shade. I'm a huge fan of Undercrown anyway, so that's part of it. But the Undercrown shade is just on the tipping point of a medium-bodied to me. Mostly mild and an absolutely fantastic starter cigar. Really nice flavor. I know I talk about that a lot, but the Undercrown has won my heart. This one is an excellent one to try. Another beginner cigar, believe it or not, if you can pick one of these up, I highly recommend it. They only cost about $5-6 a stick. They're a shorter stick. It's called the Illusion Rothschild. I don't know if you can see that. It's not going to focus very well. The Illusion Rothschild. And the reason I like this, I have given this cigar to veteran smokers. I've given this cigar to brand new smokers that have only had like 10 cigars in their life. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves this cigar. They are spicy without being too strong. They're not too huge. This is like a real nice and small one, so you can not have to smoke a big old cigar. Highly, highly recommend. The other thing I was going to talk about really quick, because we're already over 5 minutes here, is cigar shapes. Cigar shapes come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and the biggest thing about that is in the name you'll see the words Robusto, Corona, Toro, Toro Gordo, Torpedo, Pyramid or Torpedo, often interchangeable, Perfecto, those kinds of things. And that's all talking about the shape of the cigar. And so I'm going to show you a few real quick, like, because I don't want to take up all your time. This one is what's called a box press. Now, I'm not talking about the cigar itself, but just the shape of it. So see how it's kind of flat? Kind of flat, right? So that's why they call it a box press. It's got square edges. It's just a different style, different size. Everybody feels differently about smoking box press or not. There's nothing wrong with them. Another size I'm going to show you is what's called a Lancero. This happens to be my favorite size. Oh, excuse me. I want to show you this one for the Lancero. Joya de Nicaragua. Absolutely love this. So this is, let me get this out of here. This is the Lancero shape. So you're looking at something that's good 7-8 inches long. It's a bigger cigar. However, the ring gauge is only like 38 to 40. And remember that ring gauge is 64ths of an inch. So you're talking about a 38 or 40. You're talking about close to half an inch, a little bit bigger. Not a huge cigar. So even though it's really long, it's not going to smoke for forever. You're going to get good 45 minutes out of it, for an hour if you're slow at it. And I really like this size a lot. The biggest thing between big cigars and little cigars, if I can chat for a minute, is that it's the same blend often of tobaccos. It's pretty frequently the same blend, but you're going to get a different flavor profile when you smoke a small ring gauge versus a big ring gauge. Now, you're talking about the same tobaccos, so how can it be different, right? But you have to remember that it's all about the difference between the ratio of how much filler leaf, which is the part that you see at the end. Here, let me show you. All that stuff in the middle there that you see, pretty much the whole damn cigar, that's filler. And the next is called the binder that holds it together. And lastly is the wrapper, which is the part that you see and you and I look at when we're looking at the cigar. Now, the Lancero is going to give you a little bit of a different flavor. Corona is another size that's also going to give you a little bit different flavor. I thought I had one out here, but the Isla del Sol. This is a Corona size as well. Small ring gauge, not as long, but makes for a good smoke. And, geez, I think I should talk about shapes a little bit next time because we're going over on time here a little bit. But I will do another one on cigar shapes and sizes because I think that it's worth it. And I will get some more content on here about cigars and whatever else. So I will talk to you guys later. Thank you.